Hi, and welcome to another episode. Now, this one wasn't really planned, so we just made it while we were just doing it. And because I just wanted to make a video and I wanted to make this little system as well. It's a very simple talent tree system where we can, well, press N to open up our talent tree here. You can see that we have 42 talent points available. You can also hover over each of the individual slots, and these are all very easily expandable to suit your needs. It's going to show the title name and it's going to show the description of it. You can also, of course, select the talent points, click them, and actually increase it. They will not go above a fixed point, and yeah, that's pretty much all we're going to be making today. So just sit back and let's get to it. We are going to just try to wing this as much as possible. We are going to make a very simple talent tree. I think we're going to try to make today. And I just have the very basic third person template here. So let's just get started. Now, the very first thing I like to do is make it a folder. I'm going to call this one base. And in here, we're going to have a game mode base, player controller base, a HUD base, and a game instance. We're not going to probably be using the game instance, but and not the game mode, or yeah. Now the next thing we have to do is go into project settings, then over into maps and modes, and select our new information. I'm going to use the third person here, HUD base, PC base, and my game instance. Now we also have to change that inside our world settings here. If you don't have world settings, you can go to Window and then get your world settings out. But we have to set it there as well, and now this should all be good to go. Now, for this one, I'm gonna be. Let's see how we're gonna do this. We're gonna make a new folder. I'm gonna call this one interface. I'm gonna right click that, set a color, go to a green one, and then let's make a WBP HUD. Head over into our HUD base and let us create that right away. So create widget out of your begin play. And then let's add that to the viewport like so. Now that should all be good to go. We're done with our base folder for now. Back inside our interface, we now have a HUD. We want a canvas panel onto that. And then that is also pretty much good to go for now. I'm going to make a new folder. I'm going to call this one Talent System. I'm just going to give that a color. Green on that one as well. Inside of here, let's make a new widget. This one is going to be WBP Talent Tree. Open that up. Inside of Talent Tree, how are we going to set this up? I'll set it up here. So I'm going to do a I'm going to do a canvas panel. The side of the screen. I'm going to do a border inside of my canvas panel. Pad that on 2 in all directions. Add another border. Pad that one as well to 2 in all directions. First border, select the brush color down a little bit. Now I want to add a uniform grid panel to this canvas panel. Size it to content. Now this is going to be our, make that variable, and then this is what is going to be our talent tree grid panel. Let's control space to open up our content drawer. I'm going to make a new blueprint structure here. This one is going to be called talent info. Talent info is going to have a text. We're going to call first one is going to be name. Second one, description. Third one, icon, which is going to be a texture, 2D. And let's add a cost to it as well. It's going to be I'm going to do an integer. That's a talent info. let's add a new widget as well. I'm going to make it a folder actually first. I'm going to call this one structs and enums. I'm going to make a new widget. I'm going to call this one WBP talent entry. Talent 3 entry. Like so. Talent entry is going to look, we're going to have a canvas side on screen. Inside of this canvas, I'm going to have a image. Size that to content. This is going to be our talent entry image icon. I'm also going to have a text. So how we're going to do that? Let's wrap this image. Actually, let's wrap this canvas. Do we need... I don't think we need that canvas actually. Yeah, let's cut that. And then paste this back in. And then let's wrap that with a vertical box. And then I'm also going to add a text under it. Center that. Text is going to be our talent name text. I'm going to do improved frostbolt. That. Go on the font. I'm going to go down to 16. Maybe a regular font. The icon, let us change that to be something a bit bigger, like 72, maybe. Something like that. That's our improved frostbolt. Now, I just realized instructions and enums. We can now also add a level, which is going to be an integer, and then a max level. Inside of our entry, now this is where I would actually want that canvas. So let's wrap that icon with a canvas, size that to content, add a text to our canvas, size that to content, variable. This one is going to be our level text. Yeah, I'm going to do 1 out of 5 on that for now. Anchor that to top right. Hold on, shift and control. Set that size down to 14. Do regular, and then I'm going to expand outline settings. Set that to 1. That's how it's going to be looking so far. Actually, I'm going to do 0 out of 15, 0 out of 5 on this. Okay, so now we got that sorted. Over on our construct, we actually do need some info here though. Let's make it a variable. It's going to be our talent info. I'll type talent info, editable and expose and spawn. We're going to do our talent name text, set text, get our icon, set brush from texture, and we are going to get our level, which we're going to set text from. Let's start from the left and make our way over. So this is our talent name text. Get our talent info, break that open, name goes into name, like so. Copy this one over and let's set the brush. So that's the icon. And our level, we're going to format that text to be curly brackets num / curly brackets num2, number 1 and number 2. Get our talent info. Num1 is the level, num2 is the max level, and that's it for that. Now we also want to go into our talent tree, and then what we want to do is we want to populate this. So inside of our functions, let's call a generate talent tree entries. Let us make it a variable. This is going to be our HUD ref, like WBP HUD, and another variable which is going to be our game. No, we don't actually need that So that's going to come from our HUD. So inside of our HUD, go to your graph, construct cast to my game instance, object being get game instance, like so. Promote that to game instance ref search designer. Search up for your talent tree. Size that content. I'm going to put it in the middle. Then I'm going to get my talent tree. Set the HUD ref. Be that of self. Like so. Now we can go back into our talent tree where we're generating our talent trees. We want to get our HUD ref. Get our game instance ref. And this is actually where we're going to keep our talents. So inside of our game instance, no, should we do that in the game instance? No, we shouldn't. Go back into your HUD again. Before we set our HUD ref, cast to third person character, get player character, promote that to player ref, like so. Go to your third person character, and here's where we're going to keep our talents. So in our variables list, search up talents. Yeah, let's just call it talents. Now we got our talent info here, so let's get that into our talents. But we don't only want one, so we want an array of those. Talent save. Now we can add a talent. So I'm going to add a improved frostbolt. Makes your frostbolt cast 10% faster with each level. So it's 50% total. I'm just gonna do a very basic T-verse. Fuck it. I'm gonna download some images. Hang on, you're back. Okay, I'm back. I downloaded just some random images from a World of Warcraft pack that I found. I know it's not consistent. Like you got a fucking warlock and that's warlock as well. But you got a mage and I think consume magic is a warlock as well. We got a frost DK. But it's gonna do good for us. Now this is our improved frostbolt. So did I add a frostbolt? Yes, we did. Now this is gonna cost one talent point, right? The level is gonna be 0 and the max level is gonna be 5 on this one. Now the next one is gonna be a what did I get? Consume magic. So it's gonna be this is gonna be consume magic. Improved shadow bolt efficiency. Reduces the cast time. No, reduces the chance. Reduces the chance enemies will resist your shadow bolt. Cost is gonna be, let's do 1. Level is 0 out of 5. Now we got our talent sorted. Now we just need to spawn them in. So let's go into our talent tree. Go into our HUD ref. Get our player ref. Ah, crap. Get our player ref. Get our talents. And let us do a for each loop out of that. We want to, in our loop body, create widget. Widget that we want to create is our talent tree entry. Now the info comes from our array element. The grid panel, is this a uniform grid or did I do something else? This should be a uniform, yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do 3 maximum. So let us add a max horizontal. It'll be an integer. Max horizontal will put 3 to us. Actually, should we do 2? No, let's do 3. We're gonna create that widget. We're gonna add that child to the uniform grid. Index divided by our max horizontal is gonna give us our row. Right click, division whole and remainder. Index goes into dividend. Max horizontal goes into the divisor. And that goes into our column. So that should generate our talent tree. Let us head into our HUD. After we have set our HUD ref, because remember, we're using our HUD ref here to get the info from that. We can't generate this before we go into our HUD, get that. So get your talent tree out. Call our generate talent tree entries. If I play, nothing's probably going to happen. Oh, there it is, actually. That's our little talent tree system. Now let's head into our HUD, and that is the problem, isn't it? Let's see what's happening over here. It's our borders. Our borders are causing a problem because I'm not actually using the borders. This is also why you don't necessarily need to have it inside of this talent tree. Now, I used borders because I wanted the borders to like outline it. But I haven't really thought this through. So size that content, that should give it like that look. Do not like how it looks though, so let us get rid of the borders. Cut out the talent tree grid panel, paste that in by itself, and there we go. That's our little talent tree system. Now, actually, let's get back our borders. Place it inside a border, size that to content, and let us see what we can do here. Now we can center this. Didn't really center it like I wanted it to. Should we just build a proper system for this? Yeah, we probably should, right? Let's cut out our grid panel. Don't necessarily need the canvas. Let's get a vertical. Nah, crap. How are we gonna do this? Let's get a vertical. See how that looks. Nah. Thing is that I want it to look nice, but then again, I don't really care. This is just a very simple way to test. Actually, I think the problem is our entries. So if we go into our entries, this is the problem. The fact that the name is different. Now, if I center the name, yeah, so the problem is that our names are different all the time. So I don't necessarily want to mess with that too much. So we're going to make a highlight function instead. I'm going to remove the name, get the name text, remove the name text, hit play, and that is going to align it a lot better for us. Let's go into our HUD, get to a talent tree, set that to be hidden. Let's head into our, let's do this in the third person. Now, normally I like to do this in the player controller, but to each its own. I'm going to do it here for now. I'm going to do a keyboard N. That's World of Warcraft, I believe, yeah. Now, we don't have a HUD ref here, so let's get that. Now, of course, this one isn't valid. Head into our HUD. Where we're casting this, we can now go out, actually remove that self, actually get that self, move that over there. And then out from our player ref, set HUD ref to be that of ourselves. And then we can plug that into there, and there we go. Now we got a valid HUD ref. Back into our player character, get our HUD ref, get our talent tree, get visibility, switch on that enum or eslate invisibility. Get our talent tree, set visibility to be, if it's visible, we're going to set it to be hidden. And if it's hidden, we're going to set it to be visible, like so. That's if we click N. Now we also want to get our player controller, set show mouse cursor to be true. If it's visible, set it to be false if it's not. It's going to give us our ability to, and also let's out from our player controller, set input mode game and UI over there, and then set input mode UI only over there. That should take care of our problem. Yeah. So now we're able to select these things. Now let's make a hover over function real fast. So over on our talent tree, opening our content drawer inside our talent system, we can now make it a widget. This is what's going to be our WBP talent tree details widget. Widget, don't need that. This one is going to contain a few things. Now I'm going to contain a size box. The size box is going to be 256 by 32. That's way too small. 256 by 128. That's way too big. 92. That's about perfect. I'm going to add a border. Get that padding to 2 in all. Add another border to that 2 in all. Back to the first border. Set the brush color down so that looks a little better. Maybe actually go up to 4. That looks good. Inside of this border, I'm going to add a vertical box, and then I'm going to add a text box as well. Now, this first text box is going to be our talent. Actually, we're only going to have one text box, aren't we? Yeah, we are. No, we are going to have two. Okay. Talent tree entry name text. I'm going to do improved frostbolt on that. Set the outline to 1. Size box might actually want to be a little bit bigger. Do we need a size box? I'm going to cut out this. I'm sorry, I'm doing this on the fly. And yeah, no size box, just a border. That is our entry text. I'm going to do that to 18. And then I'm going to duplicate that text. And this is going to be our talent tree entry description text. This is going to be, I'm just going to do ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba. Don't like how that looks. Go back. Let's wrap this with a wrap box, maybe. Let's see how that looks. So we need a explicit, what is that? Auto wrap text at 300. Right, let's do 60. Let's do 100. 200. How big is our? Let's auto wrap it at like 250. Yeah, let's auto wrap it at 250. Set the text font. I'm going to go down to 14. I'm also going to do a different color, just a little bit different, so that you can see the difference. Actually, that should be the other way around, shouldn't it? That should be the other way around. This one should be green, a little bit greener. That's a title. And this one can stay white. And that's it for our description. Now, over on our talent tree entry, now we can go into the designer, level text, set the visibility not hit testable, talent tree entry, set that to be not hit testable, self only, and not hit testable. The canvas, let's put that to be visible. Could also do the icon if you prefer. Over on function, we can now do on mouse enter, right? On mouse enter. Let's create widget. Create our talent tree details. Set tooltip of the widget to be that of the one that we are creating. Set play, and that's our little thing. So now on that enter, we also need the talent info. So on our talent tree, we can now go to our graph, talent info, variable talent info, editable, and expose that. On our name text, we can now set text, leave that of our talent info, broken open, our name. Our description, we can now also set text, plug in our description, and that's it for that. Back into our talent tree entry, now I can plug in our talent info, hit play, and there we go. Now we also want to be able to, so let's head into our base, into a game instance. Now here I'm going to do a talent points variable. It'll be how many talent points do you have? I'm going to do like 42. What is the answer to everything? 42. Over on our talent tree, on our HUD, let's see how this looks. Our talent tree, we only have our grid panel there. If I do wrap that with a vertical box, is that going to mess up anything? Probably not. Yeah, because we want to have a text there in our vertical box underneath everything. This is going to be our available talent points text. I'm going to do 999 as a default. If I play, this is how it's going to look. Now I don't necessarily like that, so let's center that, and now it looks a little bit better. I'm also going to add a outline, and I'm going to change. Now I'm going to leave it at that, and I'm going to go down to regular though. That looks a bit better for me. That's our available talent points. Now that's obviously not right, so let's also go into our event graph on our construct. Should we do it there? Let's do a custom event, call it one update. And on update, we're going to do a available talent points text, set text from that, get our HUD ref, and in our HUD ref, get our game instance ref, get talent points, and we're just going to plug that into there. Actually, no, we are not. We're going to format text. I'm going to do a curly brackets num talent points available. Number or num is our get talent points, like so. Now we are going to call that update on construct just so we can have a up-to-date version of it. Did not actually work, and that is because we want to delete that because our header wasn't set before we did that. So now talent tree, after we generate our talent tree entries, now we can call our update function, and we got 42 talent points available. Let's also head into our talent tree for a second, into our designer. Now into our grid panel, I want to center that, get rid of the difficulty that we had before, and back in our third-person character as well. This one doesn't actually work, and that is because I set it to UI only, so I don't necessarily need to mess with that. Actually, come to think of it, I do, yeah. And we're gonna do game and UI over on this bottom one, and then we're going to do set input mode game only on the other one, like so. Hit play. That is gonna do this, and then we can get rid of it. Now let's also make it so that you can select these back on our talent tree entry. Now we can go into our here, and I want to actually wrap this entire vertical box with a button. This one is going to be our talent tree entry button. That looks a bit wonky, so let's fix that over in style. Do the normal padding down to 0, and that all automatically looks a little better. And that actually looks, yeah, it looks okay for me for our purposes. Now, when we click this button, we want to check whether or not is this actually the way we want to do it. Okay, we want to check whether or not our talent tree info level is less than our max level. And boolean, if our do we have our href here? No. Href wbp hud expose and edit back at our talent tree on our graph, generate. Now refresh this one. Our href is our href that we have. Back in our talent tree entry, I'm going to check if our level is less than our max level and if our game instance ref get talent points is not equal to 0. So is our level less than our max level? So do we have able to increase it? And is our talent points greater than 0 or not equal to 0? That is true. Then we want to just grab this, plug in all the defaults. The cost is also the default. And then we want to get level to be +1. Finally, we can update. We don't have an update here. No, we don't. Above our construct, we can add a update function. Pop that into there, and then now we can call our update. I'll hit play, and now we can increase. We can't go above the maximum. Now this one doesn't actually go down though, so let's fix that. We aren't actually updating it here, so what we also want to do, get our game instance ref, actually get all of that, set talent points to be that of talent points -1. I'll take care of this. Back in our talent tree, this is where we have our update then. Yeah, that is where we have our update. So in our talent tree entry, does our HUD? No, yes. Okay. Go to our HUD, we get talent tree. Inside of talent tree, we can now call our update as well. So this should take that one down while we are increasing it over here. Yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to do today for this episode. If you found this helpful or interesting in any way, feel free to like and subscribe. If you want to join our Discord, we are having quite a blast over there, if I might say so myself. And yeah, just if you need any help, that is probably where it's easiest to get it. Don't really have much more to say, so until next time, I'll see you later. Bye bye.